Indra Kumar is one of the most experienced directors in Hindi cinema, whose filmography goes all the way back to 1990 with Dil, and one has respect and admiration for the fact that the creator has sustained himself for so many years. While his genre of films have changed from romantic dramas in the 90s to slapstick and sex comedies in the 21st century, I really wondered whether Indra Kumar has adapted well to the sensibilities of today with Thank God. The movie is an official remake of the Danish film What Goes Around and focuses on Ajay Kapoor, played by Sidharth Malhotra, who has many vices and created a name for himself in the real estate industry. When his luck is down and everything seems to crumble around him, he is met with an accident and finds himself in the in-between, where he has to partake in the game of life conducted by CG, played by Ajay Devgn. Several of his vices are discussed, he is put into hypothetical situations to redeem himself, and the council decides whether Ayan deserves another shot in life or not. Presented as a family entertainer with the first half mostly restricted towards slapstick comedy and a second half that transitions to become an emotional drama, here's me telling you the good and bad aspects of the film so that you guys can ultimately decide whether to watch Thank God in theaters or not. First half comedy falling flat and borrowed jokes. One of the things that I was most curious about was whether Indra Kumar has evolved over the years with his treatment of comedy. If you have seen the Danish film the movie is inspired from, its funny moments are mostly understated, and Indra Kumar brings his own flavor of slapstick and animated humor, especially in the first half of this movie. But I have to say that the comedic punchlines lack the flair of what Indra Kumar presented to us with classic comedies like Masti and Dhamal. Several hypotheticals are presented with a moral lesson to be learnt, and the over-the-top humor mostly misses the mark. Each comedic dialogue has a sound effect to assist it, really reminding you that the punchline has been delivered. A case of anger management tested with Kiku Sharda's character goes on for far too long, ranging from aloo gobi recipes to dialogues like "Ab tu ja upar hole hole." You've got the case of an incapable doctor and dialogues like "Meri khud ki phati hui hai to main kaise silu," and Sidharth especially struggling to emote a comedic range that demands for him to be expressive and animated. This is especially clear in the bank robbery scene, which I will come to later. The case of Rakulpreet Singh turning into Sherlock Holmes and giving a forced moral lesson to bank officials and a robber really put me on a time machine of how forced messaging was placed in old movies. If you also remember the Friends episode where Chandler and Monica are getting advice regarding the adoption process and Chandler messes up in telling the kid that he's adopted when he bumps into him, the same set piece is clearly inspired for comedic relief in this film. Interesting hypotheticals. The movie presents some compelling arguments in the several situations where Ayan's character is placed. Does every selfish decision taken have a cascading effect on a life that should be loved and shared with others? The case of appreciating what one has around him. The situation of the boundless love that you have with family members. When you look at movies like Click or even Sidharth's own Bar Bar Dekho, which is inspired by the Hollywood movie, the several situations in one's life in retrospect make them realize how they were clouded by mostly individual goals. The case of playing the hand that you're dealt due to mostly your own doing accounts for interesting situations in this film. It's only the outdated treatment of the same concepts that makes the film struggle in its first half especially. Ajay Devgn coasts while Sidharth Malhotra struggles. I have to give it to Ajay Devgn, who as CG in this film has an absolute ball with this role. Other than his commanding presence in front of camera, what really fascinated me was the amount of costume changes that the man did throughout the film. He has a certain flair to the way he dons that suit and hosts the game of life, cackling at the several pranks flung Ayan's way, and especially shines when he can look through his lies and can call out his BS. His hovering presence analyzing Ayan's each and every move accounts for an actor in great form that elevates the simplistic and dated treatment in this writing. It's however Sidharth Malhotra that really struggles in most of this film, as he is demanded to be in a genre that is not his strong suit. He needs to be expressive, physical, animated, and these are all things we don't associate Sidharth with. If you notice Sidharth's best roles in his filmography, they are mostly restricted to a straight-edged, noble and simple man. But when it comes to the genre of comedy, he really does falter in creating an impression. Sidharth in this film, especially in the first half, as he is handed over several slapstick comedy sequences, there is a confused expression mostly assisting his face that clearly presents he is out of his comfort zone. Sidharth partly redeems himself in some of the emotional moments in the concluding parts of the film, but to see him struggle through most of the running time was really uncomfortable, making me also think, with all due respect to Sidharth, on how a more animated and comfortable actor in this genre with commercial comedies probably would have elevated the story tenfold. Half-baked lessons and partly redeemable second half. If a Nora Fatehi compilation and music video is something that you're going for, then you won't be disappointed. But I think one of the reasons for Thank God to be an only above average entertainer rather than a great film is its boring ability to integrate moral lessons in its screenplay every 10 minutes or so. You almost predict the flow of the film's screenplay, at least till the first hour or so. But I have to be honest, I had almost given up hope thinking that this Diwali we're going to get two underwhelming projects from Hindi cinema, but in the second half, the emotional moments with Ayan's family partly redeems Thank God and its overall impact. Whether it be a genuinely heartfelt moment with Seema Pava and a case of past trauma and parental guilt with his sister, these moments elevate the storyline, providing much needed depth that was mostly lacking in this film. The case of appreciating those closest to you really hits home in the convincing climax of the movie, but the damage was already done. I would have definitely liked if the first half of the film didn't subject us to such a nauseatingly over-the-top and painful attempt at comedy, especially seeing Sidharth, who is earnest with his work but clearly lacks the range required for this role. I guess I just hope for more this Diwali from Hindi cinema. And that was the video, guys. Write down in the comments below what you thought about the movie. Please don't forget to follow me on Instagram, the handle is right in front of you. Follow me at JammyPants4. Also, please support us by smashing the like button and subscribing to our channel for weekly content ahead. Thank you for watching.